So, Phoenix, do you want to go Dreamlight or Grounded?
I'll do ground. I was kind of run these back to backs, and we've been talking through this section for a while now. I actually forgot about grounded. I wasn't even planning on talking about it until I saw it on
We don't.
the lineup.
Again, I've already done a video for my channel on it, so we don't.
Well,
I
I mean,
did. That was
I'll
the early
mention my
access. But,
feelings on it. Because I wanted to play it back when you and I think our other buddy Kyle was checking it out. Because I mean, it's pretty much Honey I Shrunk the Kids, the game.
yeah.
And I love me some Rick Moranis. Um,
Poor
so I mean,
guy.
I think I didn't. I should. This is probably on me. I didn't
I was just watching
realize.
Spaceballs last night too.
Yeah, that's a good one. I
Punch
didn't
in the
realize
face
how
in the middle of the street.
much of a survival game this was. I was thinking it was more of a actiony adventure kind of game, that's just on me for not setting my expectations appropriately. So, I personally don't play a lot of survival games. So that moment, where it drops you in, it's like, all right, figure out how to live. That I think took me a little bit.
Zelda style?
No, not even Zelda style. Because Zelda,
You
like,
literally just wake up and it's
Well, I
like,
mean, the first Zelda, at least.
okay, yeah, that's true. But like this game, the problem is like a survival game. There's so many systems you kind of have to learn really quick, otherwise, you die. So this game, for me, it took a while to understand what was going on. I mean, it does tutorialize, but I feel like almost not enough initially. But maybe that's just because I wasn't digging into the menus, maybe because I was trying to follow you around to figure out what was going on. I did feel like towards the end of where we got to, I was starting to get my bearings. I was figuring out the crafting system a little bit. We were
didn't
getting
your
to,
power go out or something?
yeah, it was when the storm was kind of coming through, and I had a quick little power blip, and it killed my box for a second. So I was like, okay, that's time for
Mark,
me to
Mark.
stop. I don't know. I think there's a lot to like here if you're into survival games. For me, it's just not my game style of taste or preference. Not that I dislike them, but I feel like the few I've ever tried in the past. Like we tried Ark once, didn't we? Was that you and me, Serrano, or was that you and me, Chaz?
I feel like I've played it with you guys, but it wasn't much.
I think I downloaded it and we tried it out. We were playing it for a little bit.
I mean, with games like that, like I just never spend enough time with because there's definitely a
Um,
learning curve to kind of get into and figure out all the systems, and I always just lose myself in that. I never have enough time to really invest in figuring all that stuff out. So
wasn't there like a big survival game that's like super popular that just came to Xbox Game Pass? That's like
probably.
Viking, starts with a V.
Oh,
It's
is
like
that Valheim?
Valheim.
Or
I
is
know
that
that's
what we're
like
talking about? Or is that something
I think
different?
so. I think it's like immensely popular, and
Mm.
people were surprised
Yeah, that's a new
Xbox
one.
got it for Game Pass.
I mean, as I don't want to talk a whole lot negative about any of these games. I'm just not a huge survival game guy. I mean, from what I
I
played
just
on
man,
this
that's
game,
another one I know that's super popular.
sure. I mean, this seems like it has all the the check boxes kind of checked to make this a solid game. Like it has a lot of systems in there. There's definitely some good questing. The narrative, from what I got, was interesting enough. Going up against a spider is creepy as heck. So there's definitely that tension built in. I mean, I was starting to enjoy it. I just don't think it's gonna pull me in enough to
Um,
keep on going.
for me, what
Hmm.
we played up to the point, for me, there wasn't a heck of a whole lot different from the early access. There was some, I feel like there was some graphical stuff that was improved.
Mm.
There's a few more things in the world that were added. I think the biggest thing I noticed were there were definitely new creatures in there. I remember, I don't remember us fighting against mosquitoes and stuff, so those were definitely an
Oh
added
man, we got our
enemy
butt
type.
handed to us. Like I don't know if you felt the same way, but I felt like I was like completely ineffective against anything, and like I got one
Mhm.
shot by everything. And granted, that's probably because we didn't spend any time like building up our characters at all. We just were kind of figuring out what was going on, but that was rough. I mean, trying to figure out how to even get through this game. But once again, that's a survival trope, kind of figuring out the system so you can make it through those kind of interactions.
Game does not, it did not hold your hand though. It just,
Oh
like you
no.
said, it throws you in and it's like, okay, you start learning by just getting things and
Hmm.
trying to kill things.
Which
That's
is what
all
a survival game is. So as I don't want to come down negative on this at all because I think honestly for those who are into survival games, you're going to enjoy this. Survival games are usually games that you have the most fun out of because you kind of make your own fun, right? You build your
Mhm.
own world inside of these games and your own existence inside of them. And yeah, there's a narrative to pull you along, but it's about making a base and getting resources and kind of making your own little, life inside these little survival games. So not quite where I want to be on a game like this, but I certainly understand for those who are into it. So I'll leave it at that.
Like, it kind of reminds me of like like you said, like it's a Honey I Shrunk the Kids mixed with
Mhm.
like 7 Days to Die or something, like
Yeah.
without the zombies being all crazy. Because you really, when you play 7 Days to Die, it's like nothing but survival. They don't tell you what to do. It's like here you go, and then you're like, what am I supposed to do? And then you just go around and do things
Yeah, which is
and then
perfectly
try to figure it
fine.
out.
Yeah, I mean, for what the game is, totally fine. And also, I do really, I love the Honey I Shrunk the Kids kind of aesthetic. The perspective's really cool. Parts where you kind of, get to a hill and you're seeing over the grass horizon, and like the hedge is kind of like bokehing in the background, and the focus is a little. It looks really cool. So I think as far as just a theme or kind of setting for a game like this, it's definitely pretty novel, and if you're into survival games, check it out. But if you're not into a survival game, I don't know if this is going to be the game that will sell you on it, but maybe that's just my take on it.